class. If anybody has, they can ask. Otherwise, I'll continue with today's class. The topic is purely on dynamic memory allocation. What I have just given an introduction in the last class. So today we'll try to understand more in a clear manner. So I said, what are the three different predefined functions we use for dynamic memory allocation? Can anybody respond? Yes.
malloc, cloc, realoc.
Yeah, malloc, cloc, and realoc. Very good. So what do you mean by dynamic memory allocation? Yes, anybody from the class, voluntarily you can respond. How do you
Memory
define?
allocated during runtime, sir.
Okay. What do you mean by static memory allocation?
Memory allocated during compilation.
Okay, very good. So let me start one by one today. I'll take the first function, which is a malloc. Okay. So I said already in the previous class, but only thing is some information I'm just trying to write here. Right. So it allocates the memory at runtime, as somebody said. Allocates memory at runtime. In fact, all three functions, the first statement is valid. This is known as DMA. Okay, dynamic memory allocation. Malloc return type is, can anybody respond what is the return type of the malloc? As I discussed in the last class. What is the return type of the malloc? Anybody? Is it a pointer or a normal variable?
Pointer, sir.
Okay, what type of pointer?
Void, sir.
Very good. Void star. Okay, I'm just writing within the brackets. Is void star. Hence, must be typecasted before you use at the time of calling. This most important statement. At the time of calling the malloc function, never forget to use the typecasting. Just a minute, somebody is waiting. And the most important thing is the moment I say that some predefined functions are used for some purpose, you also need to remember the associated header files. Without the header file, the declarations, the function declarations are not possible, by which your compiler might throw an error. So to avoid the error, always you must remember the associated header files related to string functions. I said string.h. Then mathematical operations, math.h, which I did not discuss, but I just wanted you to write as an assignment. Similarly, today I'm trying to talk about ctypes.h we have seen for character related functions. Coming to the malloc, to make use of this particular function is predefined. When I say predefined, only a function declaration it is in a header file called alloc.h. Okay, you should include alloc.h. Coming to the usage, I should have a pointer variable, and how we use this typecasting. The syntax I'm talking about. Whatever type of the pointer it is, that particular typecasting you're supposed to do. If ptr belongs to char star, typecasting must be char star. If it is an int star, it should be int star. So corresponding, then followed by call the function malloc, then followed by number of data, right? Or you can write n star data type, anything is okay, which is more clear, not to have a confusion, right? Instead of number of bytes, you can simply write n into data type. Suppose integer size of int you should write. When I say data type, size of integer into n, that is more clear way. So n number of data types, okay? That is how you must do it. Otherwise, more clear way, size of, this is correct. Or let me rewrite. Either I'll write two ways. Number of bytes or n into size of data type. Anything is okay. Whichever form you feel convenient, you can make use of it. So where n is array size, if I am going to use the second format, malloc returns address, hence left hand side must be a pointer. So all I discussed, only thing is I did not put into a statement form, so I'm just writing the same thing what we have done in the previous class. Now let us take some examples how to do it. Okay, so first example is something like this. Create an array of integers of size 5. The question is very simple. Create an array of integers of size 5. Okay, size 5 I should write. So can anybody tell what is the declaration statement I'm supposed to use now? Based on the above understanding. I'm not writing entire program, only the declaration statement and the usage of the malloc function. Only these two lines I wanted to use. Can anybody interested to respond? What must be the declaration statement I'm supposed to use here? Anybody? Nobody would like to respond? Can I say int star a is okay or not? Respond. At least say yes or no. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then respond yes or no. Don't be simply keep quiet. So is it okay or not? For the given question, is the declaration statement is used or I should use something else? Is it okay or not? You tell me. What is very simple. Create an array of int of size 5. Generally we use this one, right? In the arrays. Int a of 5. This is what? Static memory allocation. If you want a dynamic memory allocation, this is equivalent. Int a of 5 equivalent is int star a. A is equal to. Can anybody respond? What is the statement I'm supposed to write here? A is equal to. If you don't respond, no, I feel no, I lose interest actually. You must respond. What I'm supposed to write here? Typecasting, right? What is the typecasting? What is the A belongs to?
Int star.
So then malloc, then followed by how many integers you want? 5 star size of int, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So then what is going to happen? The 5 locations are created where starting address might be 1000, next will be 1004, 1008, 1012, 1016. They are the 5 locations. What is the starting address? So initially A is a pointer variable which is a garbage. The moment the statement A is equal to int star malloc is executed, malloc is going to return the starting address of the allocated memory during the runtime. So starting address of the memory is what? 1000. So 1000 is going to be updated inside the A. Then there is an arrow is going to be established. So is it not similar to your int A of 5?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? I think it is 6.
Yes, sir.
Only thing is it was static memory allocation. Generally we start with indexes. Here also you can follow, there's nothing wrong. A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4 also you can use. But this memory is created during runtime. Created during runtime. This is created during compilation time. Created during compilation time. Can I modify the memory which is created in the compilation time during the execution of the program? Can I change to a more or less? Respond. Can I have a provision to modify the amount of memory which is created by using int a of 5 during the compilation time? It is fixed during entire program execution. But coming to the int star a is equal to int star malloc 5 into size of integer, whatever memory is created, you have a liberty to reduce this memory or to increase this memory. To reduce this memory or increase this memory, you must use a realloc function. Yes or no? Is it clear to all of you? So let me have a second example. You try to tell, I will write down. Create a float array of size 7. Create a float array of size 7. I want you to respond now. I will not write. Anybody? Just a minute. What happened? Okay. Okay, Rahul Tej, are you available?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you respond? What is the statement I'm supposed to write for the second example? Create a float array of size 7.
Sir, float star a.
Just a minute. Float star a semicolon, right?
Sir.
Yeah, next. Respond. Next is what? Rahul, you know only that point, float star a, that's it? You don't
Sir,
know what
a,
next?
a is equal to
A is equal to
float star malloc
malloc
7 star
7 star.
size of float.
Very good. So very simple actually. You need not to really think much on it. It's very simple, this one. So let me have a third example. Create a character array, not an array of characters of size 50. Let me ask somebody else, okay? This time, Varshika, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you respond what I'm supposed to write for the example 3? Create an array of characters of size 50.
Char star A.
Char star A.
A is equal to char star
A is equal to char star
malloc
malloc
50 into size of char.
15 to size of char. Very good. So I think it's a very simple way of creating a memory, which is a continuous memory locations, and you are able to use it like a similar to an array, but only advantages you are able to create a memory during the runtime. But the question is, all of you must remember that whenever I write a program, any program, right? Let me have some maybe display of an array. Example, actually, I'm writing this one array, display of an array, integer array otherwise, in more specifically, display of an integer array. Generally, if I am going to use some declaration statement which is int AF5, now if you look at the memory, it is created during the compilation time. Maybe this is A, base address is represented by A, then anyhow remaining are 1004, same thing, just now what I mentioned. Now suppose this is my main program. In the memory, as I said, how many locations are created for each program? How many parts? I think already I mentioned it.
4
What
parts.
are they? First one is code or text. Second one is
Data.
data. Third one is
Heap.
fourth is
Stack.
very good. See, when this program keeps on executing every statement, by the time it reaches the last statement, which is return 0, what do you feel? This memory will be there. Everything will be get vanished. Because when I say int AF5, definitely the array will be allocated here, isn't it? Data section. Agreed or not? Respond. whenever you try to execute a program, main display of an integer array. So this is how it is going to be, the template I'm trying to give it to you. The moment the function terminates, what we have understood in the scope of variables, will the variables remain in the memory or they'll get vanished? We have seen now so many local variables, static variables, global variables, different things we have seen, external variable. What is the life of the local variable? Respond. What is the life of the local variable? Will it be there throughout the computer is on, or it will get vanished once function terminates?
It will get vanished.
It will be removed, right? It will be deleted. The memory no more is available in the the RAM to indicate that. So similarly, here if I am going to allocate a memory during the compilation time, whatever you see here in the data section, this memory is going, in fact, the whole memory is going to be vanished. Nothing is available in the RAM. But coming to here, the heap section, right? Whatever heap section is going to be creating the 5 array, if I'm going to use the other way, something like int a star a is equal to int star. Just now somebody has responded, or I think I have written it. 5 into size of integer. Do you know where the memory is allocated? Which section? Which section memory is going to be allocated?
Heap section.
Yeah, in the heap section is allocated. So whenever function terminates, whatever data is available here get vanished. But if I am going to allocate a memory during the runtime, it remains in the memory. Remains in the memory. Remains in the memory, and it becomes unusable. It becomes unusable. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to tell? I'll take you a best example. If you go to some automobile showroom, right? Maybe a car or a two-wheeler, you have paid the amount for a car, assuming that, and registration is done on your name. But you will not be able to pick the car immediately. The car will be there in the showroom itself. Can anybody come and make use of that particular car? Respond.
Yes, sir.
So when the car can be become free so that others can use, provided you should give your consent, right? I don't want this car. I just wanted to change my registration back to the showroom. Yes or no? Yes or no? You must free it actually. If you do not make a free of the property which belongs to you, that property cannot be used for some other people. Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Other way, right? Some students have interest to sit only in the front row, and some students will have interest to sit in the back row. Generally, it all depends. Okay, I'm not generalizing the things. Suppose only 3 members can sit, and 4th fellow is coming, and he also wanted to sit in the front row only. Is it possible to for a particular student to sit in the front row, because already it is full of 3 students? Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
So when the 4th student can take place of the front row, provided one of the student has to be removed from that place. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that is called dynamic memory allocation. Means you need to have some extra function, some other function to free the memory, which is created dynamically. Where the name of the function is simply free. Is the name of the function. Is it clear? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So coming to the syntax for the free, then followed by, yeah, what is that pointer variable? Pointer, I should say. So this pointer is basically the address allocated by the dynamic memory allocation, malloc, alloc, or realloc. Okay, not by static memory allocation. So you cannot write. Suppose I have two examples here: int a of 5, int b, int star b. Then b is equal to int star. Then maybe I use a malloc function. I want some 5 arrays, let it be size of int. Now I'm trying to use free of b, then free of a, which is error, because the free function cannot be used to free the memory which is allocated. Anyhow, it is going to be vanished once function terminates. Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason free must not be used for the memory which is created statically, whereas the memory created dynamically you must free by yourself. So generally, the moment we use any dynamic memory allocated related functions, whether it could be a malloc or a calloc or a realloc, never forget to write a statement free the pointer which is you have used to take the address from the malloc function or a calloc function or realloc function. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then I'm going to give some advantages of the dynamic memory allocation. Advantages of dynamic memory allocation. So first point is no memory wastage, because you are going to use as per your need. No memory wastage. The second one is no overflow. Third one is you will not be running out of the memory. As per the need, you can also change. That is called no overflow. No overflow meaning is you have a less capacity, but you want more. That is called, then overflow happens. So not to have an overflow, it's an opposite version of the memory wastage. Then third one is array size can be fixed or variable. Tell me. Respond. Variable. Okay. So these are the three advantages. Like everything has an advantages, also has got some disadvantages. So let us have some disadvantages. But being an electronics engineers, we always work with pointers. So you must be very careful while understanding the concepts or topics related to the pointers, and also when you write programs. So you must be very careful, and you must be very having interest on writing the programs using the pointers, because we are learning not for the examinations, we are learning to implement something in your future. Okay, that is the objective we should have. So first one is CPU time is wasted. CPU time is wasted because during the runtime you are trying to spend some time to create a memory. That is called CPU time. Second is called it is overhead to the system. Overhead to the system means some extra burden, I should say. So these are the two things. So you should remember that code because code must be executed. The reason why overhead to the system writing, code must be executed means some lines to allocate a memory. Whereas only declaration is sufficient to create a memory for the dynamic static memory allocation. But coming to this one, you need to execute. Okay, execution of the code takes some CPU time. So that is called basically CPU time is wasted. So memory which is allocated at the compilation time Generally doesn't need any code execution, and also it will be done during the compilation time. It is not CPU, it is a software level implementation. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then some example related to the free, or some comparisons between the malloc and free I should write, because it is valid for all. Okay, even though I'm writing for the malloc, just a minute. Then there is a free. Some 1, 2, 3 points I'll write. It is a memory allocation. It is memory allocation. It is deallocation basically. It is memory deallocation. It's removing. The second point, it is a request to the OS to allocate the memory. It is a request to the OS to allocate memory. It returns allocated memory back to the OS. It returns allocated memory back to the OS. Third one, we can create variable by using the dynamic memory allocation. Need not to be always no array. It can be a simple variable, integer, float, and that one. You can also create an array, just now we have seen. And one more data type which I have not discussed, it will be in your last chapter, that's called structure, and so on, with some function. Okay, so on, it is okay. That's it. Some other data type like this. We can delete them by using a free function. We can delete them, means whatever I have written towards left hand side, variable allocated structure with free function. The last one, it is a void star function. It is void star data type function actually, whereas this is simply a void function. It is not going to return anything. It is a void function. Is it clear to all of you? I think these four statements will give you a more idea about what is a free function. Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let me have, similar to the malloc, some examples related to free also. Delete an array. Delete an array. It could be anything. So in my case, just I'm creating int star a. Then I'm going to create a is equal to int star. Just now I've used malloc. Maybe 5 star size of int. Then maybe some algorithm. Then simply I want to delete an array. Simply I should use free of a. So here first a pointer is created. When int star a is there, it is a pointer variable. The moment you execute a malloc function, the 5 locations for the integers are created. Then whatever starting address will be updated inside the a, and there is a established. Then you perform some kind of logic in the dots. Okay, dots means some dots I'm trying to write here. Then at the end of the program, the moment you said free a, it's called deleting an array. Deleting an array created dynamically. The moment free a is executed, this is going to be vanished. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Then I'm giving a second example. Delete a variable. Delete a variable, because I have not taken so far the example for the variable. Very simple. Int star a is a declaration statement. A is equal to int star malloc size of int. That's it. Size of int. because only one pointer you want or one memory location you want. No need to write some n star something like that. Then maybe you update some a is equal to 10, not a star a is equal to 10. Then free a. So what is going to happen is initially some memory is created with the name a, which is garbage. After executing this, one more memory is created. Maybe it's 1,000. Then 1,000 is written here, so there is a pointer to this memory. There is no name to it. Try to remember. Right now in the single variable, no name, but it has to be accessed only using the pointer. Then when I star a, so a is 1,000. Star a is what? Is it a garbage or some anything is defined in this memory location? Can anybody tell?
So garbage.
Yeah, it is a garbage. Okay, it is a garbage. Very good. Now star a is equal to 10. Can anybody tell where the 10 is going to be updated? Star a is equal to 10.
In that garbage, sir.
Yeah, so garbage is overwritten by 10. Yes or no? Then when the moment I say free a, this memory is removed. This remains same. This is going to be removed only when function terminates, because a is a compilation time created. Yes or no? Int star a is a compilation memory created, whereas a is equal to int star malloc is the dynamic memory allocation. So by using free a, I hope you understood, only the right hand side memory is going to be removed, not a. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is more important to remember, right? And let me have one more. I just wanted you to prepare, by using any textbook or some Google. It's like homework actually. Prepare a comparison table between. Prepare anytime I will ask, because everything is written and recorded. Prepare a comparison table between SMA and DMA. What is SMA?
Static memory allocation.
Okay, very good. So in DMA means standing memory. So I just wanted you to prepare a comparison table between static memory and dynamic memory allocations. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I wanted to have one complete full program by using dynamic memory allocation. So the program is something like this. Program 1, by using display an array in reverse order. Display an array in reverse order. What do you mean by it? What do you mean by it? Tell me. Respond. What do you mean by display an array in reverse order? Whatever array you are going to create, maybe this is 1,000. So this is A. Okay, assuming that base address is A. Suppose I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an array of 6 integers. While giving inputs, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an inputs. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4, 5 space, 6, then enter. Then if you display, what is the output you are supposed to see? Respond.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Very good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That is what the basically expected, the logic behind the particular program. Now here we'll do two cases. One is using static memory allocation, one is using dynamic memory allocation. Is it okay? I'll try to do in both ways. So first let me write the static memory allocation ways by using SMA. Case 1. By using SMA, static memory allocation. So int main, hash includes I'm not writing. You assume that it is already there. Everybody knows the importance of the hash includes, because static memory allocation lf.h is not required, so I'm not writing here. So let me have a of 20. So it says that create array at a compilation time, because it is static memory allocation. I'm writing this. create array at compilation time. Meaning is not to move our focus from these two words SMA and DMA. So that is the reason I'm wantedly writing int a of tan 20 becomes it's a array creation at the compilation time. Then int I comma n, because to process an array I must have the iteration variable. I already mentioned blind rule. Without loops it is not possible to process an array. So simply I'm writing enter how many values you want to store. Enter number of values. Can anybody tell what is the maximum values I can store in the array right now? Anybody?
19, sir.
19, no 20, because it is not scanf, no, sorry, character array, right? It is an integer array. In integer array, there is nothing like a null character. All 20 locations you can give. Yes or no? A of 0 to A of 90. Is it clear? Only for
Yes,
character
sir.
array, there is a null character, but integer and floats, full size you can make use of it. So when I type the input n value, what is the limit of n? It should not be greater than, tell me.
20, sir.
Very good. Read array size into n. Read array size into n. That's the meaning of it. Then, once you have given whatever memory created, maybe it will be 20 locations. Okay, it might be 20 locations, 0 to 19, but you might have given only 5. So you got n equal to 5. Yes or no? So only these locations I'm supposed to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it okay? So remaining 15 locations are unused. That is called memory wastage. Just now we have mentioned, no? The static memory allocation. We have allocated 20, by chance the user types 5. Out of the 20 locations, only 5 locations are useful. Then I'm asking the user enter the values. Enter values. Then how can I read the values? You want me to write 5 times a scanf, or I should take help of the for loop? You tell me.
For loops.
For loop.
Because for the first time I'm using an integer array. So for loop I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to, what I'm supposed to write here? I less than or equal to how much I should write here?
N, sir.
N or n minus 1, you tell me, correct one. N is how much? 5. So 0 to 5, total how many locations?
6.
So there are two options. I less than or equal to n minus 1 you should write. Or else?
I less than n.
Very good. I less than, anything is okay. I less than n is okay, or I less than n minus 1 is okay. I think better we should have I less than n. That is more easy to remember. Okay. I less than n is correct. I less than or equal to n minus 1 is also right. Is it clear to all of you? And scanf, because only one statement is there, I'm not writing. Percentile d, ampersand of, what I'm supposed to write? Can anybody respond? Sorry. A of?
I, sir.
I.
Simple now. So I think after the for loop is executed 5 times, automatically the 5 values whatever you have typed, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 1, here it's 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be saved. Then I'm trying to print f reverse order now. I'm telling this user that reverse order you are going to see the output. So how can I print? You tell me now. I is equal to, where should I start now? What is the index number for the 5?
4.
What is the index number for the 5?
4.
So in terms of the generalization n, how can I write n minus 1? Yes or no?
Yes.
Can I write? Then I must be measured with how much? Greater than or equal to
0.
0. Then I must be incremented or decremented?
Decrement.
Decrement.
Very good. Then simply only one statement, so opening and closing brackets are optional. Printf percentile d backslash t, so that tab will be there. Ampersand of a of I. Yes or no? Ampersand is not required because the printf statement. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Hit ch to see the results. Return, because as your return type is integer there, so it's a very simple program. Yes or no? One for loop 0 to n, other for loop n minus n to 0. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Respond. Okay, now second thing is, I said case 2 using DMA. So I think all of you know, but I just trying to explain the DMA in a different form. I mentioned every program, right? Whenever you write in main, in general, right? The three things: read inputs, process inputs, display output. Is it not the important points of any programming language or any program? You must read the inputs, you must process the inputs, finally you must display the output. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I think that is what I did now in the previous case. What is process the input means you are trying to reverse I is equal to n minus 1 to I greater than or equal to 0 is a processing actually, but ultimately you are displaying in a reverse order. Okay. So only for the reading input, I just wanted to write separate function so that you can call that function any time with any value. So for that, I'm just writing a predefined function, not predefined, user defined, by using a malloc function or a dynamic memory allocation. The name of the function is read, because you are going to return more than one value. So I just write int star p. So what I do is int star a to create temporary memory, and that we wanted to return int star. Okay. So printf enter number of values, scanf percentile d then it should be n actually. N must be there, no? Okay, let me have one more point here, n. Okay. Okay. So whatever I did in the main program, only thing is I'm writing in a separate function called read, so that it belongs to the first statement read inputs. So printf enter number of values, scanf percentile d ampersand n. So n is going to have the how many values, then a is equal to, I think you can tell what I'm supposed to write here. We are more familiar by using DMA. What is the statement I should write here? Respond fast.
Int star
malloc. N only, no?
Yes, sir. N into size of int.
Very good. So I think now we are using that statement in the required program. Then you are trying to read inputs, printf, because you are trying to read the input from the keyboard, so you should write enter values. S must be there. Then as usual scanf percentile d. Yes, what I'm supposed to write here? There's a small change. It should be for loop, no? It's not one value. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to, tell me.
-1.
N minus 1. Actually, you can do one more thing. Instead of this star p, I just remove, it is n, so this n is not required. This n is decided by, I think it is not required that also. Generally, these two statement can be avoided if you use, okay, let it be. I think this is not required because I'm not using star p anywhere. I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to n minus 1 or n. Yeah, n minus 1 is right. There's nothing wrong in that. I plus plus. Then scanf, percentile D, and percent of, what should I write? Respond. A of? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Respond. Okay, fine. Now, the thing is, if I use return A, will it work or not? You tell me. Will it work out or not? A belongs to local or global? A is a pointer variable, belongs to a function read, or it is a global variable? You tell me first. Respond.
Reads.
No. Return A. So what is going to happen actually? Because I'm trying to give a return type as int star. A belongs to the int star is acceptable. By the time you go back to your main program, whatever memory is created during the malloc, will it work or not? You must respond. Respond. See, in this particular function, the 5 locations are created. Starting address is 1000. That is given to the A. Sorry, 1000 is here. This is A. The moment you execute the return statement, out of these two memories, which is going to be removed? This is removed or this is removed? You tell me. First one or second one? They get vanished, no? Once function terminates. Respond. I hope you have not understood actually what I'm trying to tell. Okay. Suppose in the main program I'm using int star b is equal to read. So what b is going to be updated once return A is done? What is the value of A? What is the value of A inside the read function? Is it not 1000?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when the moment you say return A, the return value is copied in which value? Which variable? B, isn't it?
B. Yes.
So immediately from the main, I'm going to point here. And what about to the A? A will be still exist, it get vanished. It get vanished. A will not be there. Yeah. But memory of which is created during the dynamic memory, created using a malloc, will be there or it get vanished?
Will be there.
It will be there. The reason is it is a dynamic memory allocation. If at all I'm using a static memory allocation, like instead of malloc, if I'm using int A of 5, then both this 5 location also get vanished. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that is an advantage. You can read the data inside the other function by using a malloc. Only you return the base address so that still the memory is going to be available. Then how do you free that memory now? Can I use free B?
Yes, sir.
After processing? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then it will get freed. Then you can terminate the program. The logic here, whatever dots I'm mentioning, no, that is this for loop only. The above example, only this logic. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I hope you can complete the dots, right? So this is display the array in a reverse order by using both static memory allocation as well as dynamic memory allocation using a separate function. Okay. So tomorrow I will try to explain the CAlloc and realloc. So with this, the today's class, just I wanted to stop here. Just a minute.